Okay, everybody, it's 6 o'clock, so I will declare the meeting open. Welcome, everybody. This ordinary council meeting will be video recorded and the recordings published on the Shire of Dundas website. Item 1.1, the Shire of Dundas recognises the Nudgee and Mirning as traditional custodians in the Shire of Dundas and pay our respects to their elders past and present. Obviously, I am attending by electronic means. Item 2, declarations of interests. Any financial interests?
Nil.
Any proximity?
Nil.
Impartiality?
Nil.
Any gifts?
Nil.
Thank you. We have an apology from Councillor Maloney. Item 4, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I think, people in our public gallery. Item 4, are there any applications for leave of absence?
Nil.
Thank you. We have no responses to public questions. Item 6, public question time. Do we have any questions?
Yeah, Bonnie Richardsoni, 24 Street. I was just wondering, with the youth centre being closed for the first 2 weeks of the school holidays, I understand that everyone has a break, but it's just a bit worried about the timing, being the first 2 weeks of school holidays for the kids. If I may, through the chair, sorry, Madam President.
Thank you.
It's not closed?
Oh, I heard that, I read it on here, 19th December to the 4th of January.
Oh, the for the Christmas holidays?
Yes, sorry.
Yeah, sorry. I thought you meant the current one. The youth centre, that's every year the youth centre is closed when the administration building, when the admin is closed, and then they come back earlier then.
Okay. Yeah. Sure. Thank you.
Any other questions? Catherine, yeah.
Yeah, Catherine Crusoe, 25 Downing Street. I'm just wondering why we haven't seen any houses put up for auction, like blocks that haven't had their rates paid. Why is that? Why is it just vacant blocks?
If I may, through the chair.
I can answer that one. Yep, we've been working on it. We've had a lot of trouble trying to get an auctioneer. There's certain things that they need to be qualified in to be able to do it. It's changed since the last time we had an auction, and we've been chasing around for an auctioneer for a very long time, and nobody's more frustrated about it than we are. So I believe we have now sourced an auctioneer, so that should be coming up fairly soon.
Sorry, but my question was, why is it only vacant blocks and no houses?
Because we took a little bit of a strategic direction on that, so that we can still give ourselves or the people who haven't paid their rates a little bit more time to catch up if there's actually houses on them. And the third phase would be houses that are currently occupied. So we've gone vacant lots, then we'll do unoccupied houses, then we'll do occupied houses. Anybody else? No. Okay, we'll move on to item 7. 7.1, the minutes of the ordinary meeting of council held on the 26th of August 2025. Recommendation is in the middle of page 6.
I'll move that recommendation.
Seconded.
Councillor Warner, Councillor Hogan. Everybody happy with those minutes? No amendments or adjustments? Okay, so the recommendation we have is that the minutes of the ordinary council meeting held on the 26th of August 2025 be confirmed as a true and accurate record. Those in favour? Thank you. Item 8, we do have a rates draw, so that we can give some prizes.
Should that with the lid on.
Let's go. Well, third prize? First. Who was number?
Please.
Second prize? You read them out? No, I'll get it. Just read them out.
First prize is, I think it's McVilly RC of, and I won't read out the address, someone of mine's roads, but I'll get the rates team to actually look at that surname, see if I've got it right. McVilly RC, first place. Second place is Mr. Mick Varga. And third place is Des McCall.
Very good. Thanks, everybody. We'll move on to item 8, reports of committees. Okay, so item 8.1.1, the GVROC. Our next GVROC meeting will be held on Friday, the 28th of November, to be hosted by the Shire of Leonora. 8.1.2, Walga. The Walga State Council meeting was held on Thursday the 4th and Friday the 5th of September in the Shire of Dundas. We had heaps of positive feedback after the event as to the look of the town and the efforts of the council. This feedback carried on into the Walga Local Government Conference last week, with several delegates still telling me how much they enjoyed their visit, and others who had been able to attend saying they had heard all good things about the event and were sorry to have missed it. We don't get these things done without the assistance of our awesome staff. So once again, thanks to the team for another outstanding effort. And we'll have some reports from that conference in a minute. 8.1.3, the Regional Road Group. The next Regional Road Group meeting will be held in November, on the 21st of November. Our Goldfields Esperance submission re the MCA and funding distribution model was rejected by SAC, as we kind of half expected. So we have some work to do on that front. SAC is the State Road Funds to Local Government Advisory Committee. For those that are taking down acronyms in your little black acronym book. 8.1.4, the Roadwise Committee. They also had a meeting on the 4th of September. Councillor McLeod, you got something for that one?
Yep. Sorry. So the Roadwise Committee was is the July-September quarterly meeting, and that was on the 4th of September. In attendance, we had Linda Parsons, Barry Hemapo, Councillor Sharon Brown, Pania Turner, and Councillor McLeod, myself, obviously. We've just done some more on the road safety report, speed hump road cushions, talking about lowering the driving speed. Linda Parsons will be visiting Norseman and staying for a few days. We're doing some investigation work regarding other projects, and we're waiting to receive results from trials for main roads regarding Dragon's Teeth project, Streets Alive program of Tidy Towns movement around our local school. Also, there's a consideration to apply to main roads to undertake a review of current speeds in view of implementing an urban area speed zone of high density pedestrian traffic can be demonstrated. Next meeting is scheduled as needed. There you go. You're going.
Sorry, Councillor, you're just on mute.
Oopsie, sorry. Thanks, Councillor McLeod. 8.1.5, our next LEMAC meeting will be held on the 15th of October. And 8.1.6, Coastal Management Planning Strategy Committee. Our meeting schedule for the 11th of September was postponed, so our next meeting will be held on the 13th of November. We have some reports from the local government conference. I'll kick off and then we'll hear from our other two councillors who attended. So my conference this year started with the planning showcase on a Monday. We first heard from Minister John Kerry in relation to the current housing crisis, which I think we're all very aware of. WA's population growth is currently sitting at 2.3%, which leads to increased pressure on services such as hospitals, schools, etc. WA's target for housing is 130,000 homes, which is facing issues with supply of material and labour shortages. There's a 60 to 70% increase in cost for higher density builds, which reduces margins for builders and leads to less opportunity for these builds to be undertaken. There are currently several reviews taking place in the planning space. They're designed to increase consistency and transparency of local planning policies and in relation to the R codes to increase flexibility and reduce burden. Work is being undertaken on the energy code in relation to a standard code and community benefits. Short-term residential accommodation, that's all the Airbnbs, is in the spotlight and schemes are being updated. At this stage, Metro local governments will require development application approval for unhosted stays over 90 days. However, regional local governments will be permitted to determine their own settings. We heard from Emma Cole, who's the chair of the West Australian Planning Commission. She echoed most of what the Minister had to say. Planning must be future focused as well as having regard for environmental, economic and social aspects of development whilst maintaining fundamental planning principles. Regional planning strategies are dated and require updates. Local government are leading in approval timeframes. Yes, somebody's finally recognised that fact. The core of reforms are about streamlining processes, local government equally with the WAPC. We also heard from the City of Greater Geraldton, City of Subiaco and City of South Perth on a range of initiatives from creating positive change through placemaking, heritage preservation, creating safe and livable spaces through planning and updating old laneways to create a more coherent plan. Craig Slark from McLeod's legal team gave some information and case law regarding tree removal, both on private and public land. Existing trees and vegetation with or without a particular policy are still a relevant planning consideration. That also goes for private property as well. Planning should align with the Council's strategic community plan and planning considerations should be included in the plan. Gaps exist in the planning system in relation to planning for required services, so things like health, hospitals, fire, education, all those sort of things. They tend to be ad hoc and reactive, so we need to work proactively to address challenges and undertake long-term modelling. At the Mayors and Presidents Forum, we turned to an AI focus. And Walga has undertaken some work with a consultancy firm to examine sector readiness for the reality of AI. There's a need to focus on governance around AI, which will require staff training, change management and risk readiness. The top three use cases are to improve internal efficiency, streamline customer service and operational intelligence and decision support. The top 5 risks are trust and boundary expansion, cybersecurity, access control, integrity manipulation and impersonation, and dependency poisoning. The use of AI should broadly follow 8 principles: human-centred values, fairness and equity, social environmental well-being, reliability and accuracy, privacy and security, and transparency. AI should deliver tangible benefits which are realistic, practical and achievable. The theme for this year's conference was Lean into Legacy. The key vision for local governments to leave a lasting positive legacy as local government, making decisions that endure far beyond election cycles. The keynote speaker on Tuesday was Dr. Richard Hames, a world-renowned futurist. He provided some very thought-provoking opinions. Dr. Hames began his presentation by saying the most critical people responsible for change and the challenge of change are in this room. So meaning all of the local government people that were there assembled. Our local government is the bridge between tradition and transition, and that the most robust forms of governance take place at the local government level. Again, nice to know that we're recognised by somebody. He believes change has been sold badly and humans are more adaptive than management consulting firms would have us believe. The role of propaganda cannot be overestimated. People can take an easy way out by believing it, as it offers an either-or scenario, which reduces the need for critical thinking. We should be mindful that past dependency cannot shape the future. We should view our decision-making through the lens of hindsight, insight, foresight, which is past, present, possible. He called it an expanded now. Here are the present factors which have arisen from past decisions, and this is where we need to go. A quote from him was, "The past is in your head, the future is in your hands." We heard from a panel of new state government members who are all previous local government elected members, and their views on the differences between state and local government. That got a little bit lively, a couple of points. We heard from another panel on shared services between local governments. It was extremely informative on how some of the large metro local governments are assisting smaller regional local governments with limited access to specialist services such as planning and building. There are benefits to both LGAs through this process, which is generally operated on a cost recovery model. The process can enhance service delivery, promote sustainability, and provide mentoring for staff in the smaller local government areas. Along with the shared services model, Warwick Carter shared some of the success of the Perth South West Metro Alliance. They have adopted an approach which is based on the premise that what is good for the region is good for all of them. So that alliance is broadly what we do at GVROC. Previously, they had competed for commercial livability success, but now found that by working together, they can build a consensus view, focus on themes and policy, and be brave and lead. Matt Burnett, the ALGA president, gave a few insights into what ALGA is currently working on. The federal government has not yet delivered the final report for the Local Government Sustainability Survey. ALGA is changing focus on the financial assistance grants and our request to raise it to 1% of the Commonwealth tax revenue, because we're just spinning our wheels on that. So they're advocating for the phased introduction of formula-based funding to alleviate current funding shortfalls, largely brought about through cost shifting from the other levels of government. There were 2 breakout sessions in the afternoon. I attended the economic development breakout session. We heard from the Shire of Murray, the City of Swan, and the Shire of Nowangarup in relation to some of their efforts in economic development. So the Shire of Murray took on a project to renovate a regional icon, showcase local produce, and reacquire their town square, which had been amalgamated into the heritage pub lot, which was the subject of the project. So I don't know if anyone's been to Pinjarra, but the hotel down there was their project, and they've made what looks like a pretty good space there. So their project was aimed at town activation, heritage preservation, and job creation. Lessons learned were you must have early ongoing consultation, be adaptable, have a robust business case, gather strategic and aligned partnerships, and hold on to your vision. The City of Swan conducted a disability access audit on local businesses. They examined things that were not directly related to legal compliance, such as, is the mat non-slip? Can I reach the toilet paper? Is the mirror at the correct height? Accessible retail environments can increase turnover by 20 to 25%. From the pilot, they've produced a set of accessible business guidelines. Fun fact, the lady that delivered that is related to former councillor Chris South. So again, all roads lead to Norseman. Shire of Nowangarup wanted to showcase the businesses in their shire, and they held a business forum. They've held 2 of them now. The project was a small project, a $15,000 project, and it generated extensive interest and a theme which has become now part of their shire vision, which is stay, grow and thrive. The first time the event had 80 attendees. The second time there were 117 attendees and 17 trade booths. We also treated to an audience with Glenn McGrath, who gave an overview of his cricketing career and his more recent works with the McGrath Foundation, which is now extended to the provision of nurses from solely focusing on breast cancer care into other forms of cancer as well. The event wrapped up with Adam Goods, who reflected on his journey through his footballing career and how he came to be there. So it's always nice to throw in some inspirational speakers, and not necessarily a local government focus, but they always give us something to think about and transferable skills. So that's always good. I will hand over to Councillor Warner and Councillor McLeod to do their reports. Thank you.
Okay. Well, I'll skip over the Richard one and go straight to Hannah Beasley, the Minister for Local Government, attended by electronic means. She announced that big reforms are coming, I presume in the next 2 years. As Ms Beasley has said, it's too costly for local elections every 2 years, and she believes that local governments need to amalgamate to survive. And it's also practical, apparently, and cost saving. Also looking to change voting so it's compulsory, and one way people could vote, it could be by telephone. Conversations have started in this direction, and she said she will not tolerate people becoming councillors with their own agendas. Local governments need to get along, and this is why she created a new historic position. One of Wal guys, Tony Brown, is getting the job as local government inspector. He will have the power to investigate and intervene where needed. This includes dismissing councillors and all councils as he sees fits. He brings to the role over 20 years experience and knowledge of regulations and laws. This is one of the first major milestones to roll out. 139 local governments will come under closer scrutiny, and she talked a little bit about the possibility of Cal Coolgardie situation, but she didn't let on will there be a merger. It's still in the early stages and nothing has been fully decided yet. Another possibility could be the all in, all out. This could be one of the possibilities with the future for local governments. Who knows? Local governments need to pass audits, but the state government hasn't passed theirs. And where are their processes? The panel talked about homelessness, housing, water, electricity, and a big chunk of our rates goes to the emergency levy, which goes back to the state. And why is it so much, and how do we fix it? And the answer we got from the panel was state government needs to fix it, but how? They wouldn't tell us. We need to make sure local government's voice is heard, said Kirralie Waugh, the MLA, the Shadow Minister for Local Government and Fisheries. She said she will continue to be a voice for the people in the regions. There's a renewable energy push, net zero. Can't take anything for granted. AI, how is going to be in our future, and how we can adapt to it, and pitfalls of AI. We all know this will ostracize some people. A few people have received awards. They farewell Tony Brown, who will start his new position in January 26. Just trying not to say the same stuff over again. And then they discussed about the assessment panel, like assessment drafting, and the City of South Perth, they help out Derby, and that has helped a lot with Derby with planning because they don't have the people, and it makes the city councils realise that weather can play an environmental implication in the regions. So like the wet season, this can improve or delay services in the regions where the city counterparts didn't realise that. Lots of projects supposed to be coming up. And they talked, we went on the second day, with the breakout session, we went to the new renewables. They are talking about 40% are renewables, the rest are coal and gas, which the government is retiring at the end of the decade. And fundamental changes are coming, scaling up for electricity demand. This year we broke records on the electricity demand. It's cheap and easy to add air cons to your house, apparently, they said. They're going to electrify all transport, and that's the pathway forward. And our electricity demand is just going to grow year by year. Anything that you can electrify, they are going to electrify. We're in safe territory for our offsetting supply, they say. They have the capability to build our future electricity needs, and they reckon landowners will have to allow infrastructure to be built on their land, to add wind farms, whether they want it or not. they need every house to have solar panels and a battery to foresee the future's electricity needs. And there's that's why they're doing that battery rollout at the moment, but it's not where it needs to be at the moment. And once again, we talked to Glenn McGrath, and his first nickname was, I mean, no, it's not very local government, but his first nickname, he was named after an old caravan he lived in when he first moved to Sydney. So you can guess what his nickname was. And we ended with Adam, and he is Adam Goods. He set up 2 foundations. He's co-founded with another AFL football player. And what the first one is called Go Foundation for a Brighter Future for Indigenous Students Through Education. And the other one is IDIC, which is Indigenous Defence and Infrastructure Consortium. This provides education, skill training and employment opportunities for Indigenous Australians to supply large defence and infrastructure projects, which that would be very interesting for a lot of the young guys. And that, I think Lorene's already covered most of the other stuff. I'll hand it over to you.
Our conference was all about leaning to legacy this year. So the Western Australian Local Government Association Convention was on the 22nd and 24th September with many key highlights. Where do you begin? There was many networking events. So we got to meet new councillors from across the state and had insightful conversations about the challenges they face in their roles and how they tackle them. It was an eye-opening experience learning from peers about their strategies and obstacles. Conference focus areas were things like economic development, inter-council cooperation, regional funding and advocacy, and other vital topics that shape the future of our local governments. It's also the AGM. Delegates voted on important issues that set the direction of the local government sector. Many keynote speakers like Glenn McGrath, Dr. Hames and Adam Goods. I won't go into that because you've already heard everything. Breakout sessions. I attended a session on electrification with 4 key speakers discussing the future of today I'm just, thanks. And energy transition. Topics included the expansion of electricity infrastructure, example, Kalbarri to Perth, then out to Kalgoorlie. The energy policy in WA. Jay Thomas, Deputy Director General and Coordinator of Energy, explained how they're working with 55 local governments and engaging communities in understanding the transition. There were many exhibitions and conversations with over 71 exhibitors. I'm getting worse. There was an overwhelming amount of information. Some of the notable discussions that I had were with Stuart Windsor, the Managing Director of Nature Playgrounds, Deck the Malls regarding Christmas decorations and mall designs, NBN, great talks, ongoing discussions needed there. Overall experience, the event was enjoyable, worthwhile, and a bit exhausting due to the sheer amount of information and engaging discussions. It was also a critical opportunity to connect with other local government leaders and gather key insights for the future. After a full-on schedule, I'm back energised and ready to bring some of the initiatives I've learnt back to our community as my role of councillor for Dundas Shire. That's it.
Thanks, councillors. We'll move on to item 9. Just a couple of announcements. As everybody knows, we do have an election coming up. We have 3 councillors retiring at this election. 2 of those councillors have put their hands up to run again. Councillor Maloney is not going to recontest, so we thank Councillor Maloney for putting his hand up to come and sit around the table with us. We have 7 candidates for our 3 vacancies, so thank you to the candidates for putting their hands up as well. That's good. Shows that we've got interested people in our community, and that's always a good thing. So good luck with the election, and yeah, we'll see how it all plays out after the election day. All right, item 10.2.1 to receive the information bulletin. That recommendation is on the bottom of page 8.
I'll move that recommendation.
Councillor Warner, thank you.
I'll second it.
Councillor McLeod, was that you?
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, we have a recommendation that council receive the monthly council's information bulletin for the period ending the 9th of September 2025. Those in favour? Thank you. That is carried. Item 10.2.2, the Norseman Community Resource Centre financial statements for the period ending the 31st of August. That recommendation is on the bottom of page 11.
What was it?
I'll move that recommendation.
Thank you, Councillor Warner. In second. Do I have a seconder for that recommendation?
I'll second it.
Councillor Hogan, thank you. Does anybody have any questions or would they like to say anything about that item? No. We have a recommendation that the Norseman Community Resource Centre financial statements for the period ending the 31st of August 2025 be accepted. Those in favour? Thank you. Is carried. Item 10.2.3, the accounts paid the 1st of the 7th 25 to the 31st of the 1st 25. Their recommendation is on page 20.
I'll leave that.
Sorry, who was that? Councillor McLeod, thank you. And second,
Second that.
Councillor Hogan. Does anybody have any questions? We have a recommendation that Shire of Dundas monthly accounts paid from the 1st of the 7th 2025 to the 31st of the 7th 2025 be noted. Those in favour? Thank you. That is carried. Item 10.3.1, officers' reports. Recommendation is on page 21.
Move.
Councillor Hogan, thank you. In second.
I'll second that. Sorry.
Councillor McLeod, thank you. Officers, do you have anything to add to your reports?
Through the chair, I'll just add to the CRC report that we have the Community Citizenship Awards now open. So you'll see some advertising for that. People can do nominations through the online portal, but also the Shire of Dundas accepts written nominations as well. So community want to keep an eye out for the Citizenship Awards for 2026.
Thank
It's a little while off, but it comes around quick, Pres.
Yeah. Okay, we have a does anybody have anything to say about that one? Everyone happy? We have a recommendation that Shire of Dundas Council receive the Works and Services, Youth and Recreation and Woodlands Cultural Community and Visitor Centre reports as contained in papers relating. Those in favour? Thank you. That is carried. Item 10.3.2, the 2025-26 Christmas New Year Shire Facilities and Services closure calendar. With a note, councillors, on page 24, the domestic and commercial collection should be Saturday, the 27th of December, not Friday. And that recommendation is on page 23.
I'll move that recommendation.
Councillor Warner, thank you.
Second it.
Councillor Hogan, thank you. Anybody have any queries, questions about that one? So we have a recommendation that council endorse the 2025-26 Christmas New Year Shire Facilities and Services closure calendar as presented in the calendar there, which I won't labour the point on. Those in favour? Thank you. That is carried. We have no elected members' motions. We have no late items. Our next meeting is scheduled for the 28th of October 2025 in Norseman, 6 p.m. There being no further business, I'll declare the meeting closed at 6:34. Thank you, everybody.